And we have Brother Martin here. Yeah, and he's going to do the presentation. So make sure you have all your questions ready. Okay, so first March we have Elder Clement, and Friday 4th will be Knedu on Friday. Okay, good. So these are the people leading prayer this week. Amen. Okay. So without wasting much time, I will want to invite Brother Martin to do the presentation on the trip to Israel. And when he finishes, we'll take the questions. So Audrey, if you get the USB and slot it in. Yeah. Okay, so Brother Martin, let's welcome Brother Martin.
Thank you very much. Okay. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. This is the day that the Lord has made. And I pray that we all continue to rejoice in Jesus' name. If I have to describe this church, I will say this is a dancing church. This is interesting. Well done. May God bless you all. Firstly, let me just thank Pastor for inviting me and your lovely wife. Thank you very much, and the congregations. So I'm just here to give you a brief presentation about the Holy Land in Israel. So if you have any question at the end of the presentation, I can deal with that. So, okay, the Holy Land, and that is the Wailing Wall, where prayers have been said by the Jews or Christians and so on and so forth. So it is the most holiest, one of the most holiest in Israel. So it's a very, very important site that I think most Christians will like to go and pray. I think it operates 24 hours a day, so you can go anytime when we're in Jerusalem to go and pray. And firstly, let me just say also that a trip to the Holy Land is not an holiday. It's not. It's a spiritual exercise where you will pray, eat, sleep, pray throughout the duration. And I'm sure God will answer. Okay, so can we start, please? Are we stuck? Okay. So I represent a company called the United European Airlines, and they specialize in operating tours for the U.S. military forces in Europe, as well as operating tours for the U.S. government, and also these Christian tours. So the core 4 points that we have is people, service, reliability, and experience, and I will talk about that in just a moment. Next slide, please. Right, okay. Pilgrimage is all we do, and in 2021 we celebrated our 23 years in business, so we must be doing something nice, and we work with all denominations and happy to tailor any trip for any churches that wants to go and visit the Holy Land. That is all we will do. Next slide, please. Okay, so why are we different to others? There are so many companies out there. The only difference is that we embark on this mission to bring as many people as possible to their closer to their roots of religion, as this will reflect in our prices, which you will see that later on. This is not for profit, but actually it's a passion of the organization to take as many people as possible to Israel. Next slide, please. Right, these are the company executives. So we have Harold and then Elsa, both Jews and based in Israel and Germany currently. So, he was also a Navy pilot. So he has a lot of experience, and both between two of them, they've been doing this for a very long time. So that's their passion, just to take as many people as possible to the Holy Land. Next slide, please. Okay, this is just a picture of one of some of the delegates in the River Jordan, which obviously I think there was a topic on that. I could overhear the discussion, the Bible study, talk about the baptism. So if the church wants to embark on that, then obviously that is possible. Just need to know how many people that wants to do that. Next slide, please. Okay, yes, this is the one. So what do you need, or what does the church needs? So we offer three main types of tours. So first one, tailor-made for churches or groups. If you have a full sizable church, so we could do that. Or if you want to join another church, we can also do that, as well. So there are more, we can tailor each church. So what happens is, once you pick a date, which I'm going to talk about that, then we can prepare the publicity material for the church, specifically for your church. So that when people come in, you just give them the flyer or something. So it will have the church name and everything you want to put on that material. We will supply that for you, so that it'll be easier. As you are announcing it, you are also giving out the flyer. Next slide, please. Is this the next one, or? Okay, so ministry tour. Naturally, a tour with your specific is usually one of the spiritual nature, but ministry tours are also open to the public. It's also possible that people from outside that are not your member. You can also give them the flyer, so that they will go under your the church. So that is possible. Anybody can join your group, so we can do that. And we cater for individual needs, stores, and so on and so forth. Next slide, please. Okay, so we specialize in designing inspirational tours where content meets precisely the need of a church, organization, groups, and so on. Normally, the first question potentially group members will ask is how much the cost. That is the factors that will determine on that. I'm going to talk about that in the next slide. So remember the tour costs, that's there, but how, we will talk about that now. Okay, so how many nights? This is where it gets very interesting. The most commonly package that we do is for 7 nights or 8 days, or 10 nights, 11 days. So the church can decide which one, but usually people go for 7 nights. Yeah, and usually the hotel that we use is usually 3 stars or 4 stars. But if you want 5 star, we can also arrange that, and no problem at all. So generally speaking, hotels which are in the city center will be a bit more expensive, but most of the hotels that we use are in Jerusalem, easily accessible to everything. If you want to walk, you want to take a bus or whatever, so there shouldn't be any problem with that. Next slide, please. Also, the airlines will determine, because if you're going with some of the budget airlines like EasyJet's flights direct from London, from Luton to Tel Aviv, or from Gatwick. But it's cheaper, because if you go for British Airways, the prices might a little bit more. And also it depends on the airport that you're flying out from. Luton is cheaper, or Gatwick, but Heathrow is a bit more expensive. So the church will need to consider that as well. Next slide, please. Okay, time of the year. When do we go, or when would you like to go? Usually we suggest that the church doesn't travel during the Jewish or Christian festival like Easter. Is too packed, so it'd be much better to go at another alternative months like February, May, or October. Summer is a bit hot, extremely hot. So that anyway, that's our advice. So next slide, please. Okay, so for nearly 2,000 years, right, I said Israel, land of the Bible, land of faith, holy land for a person of faith whose beliefs are rooted in the Bible. There is no place on earth like the Holy Land. True. Next slide. Okay, for almost 2,000 years, of course, Christians, visitors all over the world have gone to Israel. They've visited, they've done all things, which I believe by the end of your visit, this is the most important, you should return home with deeper, richer, and more committed faith. And once you visit Israel, you will never be the same again. It's a different experience. Next slide, please. Right, in his footsteps, that is the whole purpose. But let me just say this, and I want you to remember this. For those who believe in God, no explanation is necessary. For those who do not believe in God, no explanation is possible. So it doesn't matter what I say. If you don't believe, it won't make any difference. You remember Thomas, when they said to him, Jesus says, he said he's not until he sees Jesus. So it's the same way. Now, some of the things that where we will go to have a full, richer experience, you just need to have that belief that maybe Jesus just walked few minutes ago and you are just walking there. That is the way to have the experience. Yes, of course, some of the history there are 3,000 years, but it doesn't matter. He's still alive, he's real. So that is the only way. Now, let's now look at some of the places that we're going to go. When we arrive at the Tel Aviv airport, a coach will pick us up, and then we will travel north. So we'll start from Galilee and spend 2 nights there, and then make our way back to Jerusalem again. So we'll stay 2 nights there. The coach will take us fully aircon. Everything is all paid for. And then we will start the journey from Capernaum, Jesus' hometown, and where the first miracle took place, water into wine. We'll go also to Sermon on the Mount, Magdala, the town of Mary Magdalene. We'll have a boat ride on the Sea of Galilee, Caesarea. Next slide, please. Then we will visit Nazareth, the Basilica of the Annunciation. That is where Angel Gabriel met with Mary. We will also go to the Megiddo, the Armageddon. That is where the last battle will take place. Then we will also visit Mount Carmel. That has something to do with Prophet Elijah, where he called down the fire. Then River Jordan, which I've stated that earlier on. Then we'll also go to the Dead Sea. There's something about Dead Sea I talked about, but I forgot now. Anyway, we'll also visit Hebron. If you remember Abraham's story, where he built the altar to serve the God. And also, more importantly, in Hebron, there are some interesting couple that was buried there. Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, and Jacob and Leah. If you remember, there is somebody missing there. Oh, sorry. Can you take me back there, please? There's somebody missing here, if you remember the story very well. Rachel is not listed there because she's not buried there. Next slide, please. Okay, when we get back, so we then, from Jerusalem now, we'll then reach to the Mount of Temptation where Satan tempted Jesus. Then we visit Bethlehem, birthplace of Jesus. Next slide, please. Then, of course, up north we will visit Masada, which was built by Herod the Great. So this is a very interesting place. It's in the Judean desert. And as you can see the cable there, so that's the only way to get to that place at the very top. So if you are afraid of height, that might be a problem. So it's the only way. What? That is alternative route. If you want to walk, it takes 2 hours. So we will have gone and then come back. You are still on your way. So, but if you're in the cable car, all you need to do is just close your eyes, and then but you won't feel anything. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is still Jerusalem, Mount of Olives, Garden of Gethsemane, Pools of Bethesda. You remember that story very well. Church of the Holy Sepulchre. That is where Jesus was laid when the whole thing happened, and then they washed the body and everything. So we'll get there. And then here we will also visit the Yad Vashem. This is the Israel official memorial to the victims of the Holocaust. It's a very important museum for the Jewish. So, and I think everyone should go there and see it as well. Next slide, please. Then, again, this is still in Jerusalem, the final week. You remember that triumph entry when people are laying down the palms and so on. So we go there as well. And Mount Zion, where they had the Last Supper, in the Last Supper room, we will go there. And Temple Mount, where Abraham prepared to sacrifice Isaac. We will also visit there. Capia's house. Church of St. Peter's in Gallicantu. This was where Peter denied Jesus 3 times. So we'll also get there. And then we will visit King David's tomb as well. All this is in Jerusalem. So we will have returned from the north and then, visit all these places. En Karim, Church of St. John the Baptist. We'll visit there. Rachel's tomb. We will also go there. Bethany. That is the home of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. You remember that story. And also we will visit the site for the Transfiguration where they met with Moses and Elijah. You remember that story. Next slide, please. Right, okay, so this is the final journey of Jesus when he was being taken up to the cross. So we will also go. There are 14 stations. Each station where Jesus stopped, where he fell, where somebody carried him, and also, all that. Very, very painful journey he had. Via Dolorosa means the way of the cross. So we will visit all the stations in Jerusalem as well. Next slide, please. And finally, the tomb, the empty tomb. So when you get there, of course, people usually go inside, but there's nothing there. And so that is it. Also, you might want, after we finish here, we will then go back to, there's a big garden. You can have Holy Communion. I don't know whether this church, because you can have prayer and then Holy Communion there as well. There are different churches there. So this is the last one that we will see. Next slide, please. Okay, so that's the price. $9,999. That's the special price for this church. That's excluding a ticket. It depends again the number of people going. That will probably affect that as well. Probably go down. The more people, the cheaper as well. And also the air ticket. Usually about 300, 350, thereabout, sometimes less. But the only thing with those flights is that you have to pay for the suitcase, the luggage. So that's it. So it's by the time you spend about 1,100, all is done. Next slide, please. I don't know if there is any. And okay, this is where, if you have any questions. Any question? Any question? Yes.
I just want to ask, is the amount is it per head?
Yes, per person. Yeah, and that price is for the hotel, breakfast, and dinner. So there's no lunch because everybody is out. Yeah, so that's for the hotel, breakfast, and dinner. Yes, sir.
Does that include the coach?
Everything, everything. You pay nothing more. Everything. So if you are not having breakfast you can just take something. If you are not someone that have breakfast in the morning, and then pack it and then take it on to the coach, so you can have that. But we'll have full breakfast and then dinner when we come back in the evening. So, yes, ma'am.
Yes, do you have a package for young adults, or they are all paying the same?
When you say young, how old? Because any over 12, I think, pays adult price for flight.
Yeah, you said because of the more the number, the cheaper it becomes. So I thought it's
Okay, yeah. You mean not? Okay. Not the flight. Yeah. The more people we have, it will reflect on the price.
So I was thinking that it may be the hotel and the dinner.
Yeah.
It can be reduced, so it can also attract the price for the young people. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, the price, it doesn't really matter how young the person is. It doesn't matter. But once we know the number of people, then we will be able to negotiate a good deal. So, that's it.
I want to ask you this question. Is it advisable for young people, maybe like 12 years, teenagers?
Oh, yeah, some people take even babies. Yeah. As long as they can walk, no problem. Yeah. As long.
After the last point,
Yeah.
there's a garden that we can have.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Is there supply or we have to
I think they do, but there is like you are drinking Ribena somehow. So we can supply one of these disposable, that you open and then. So if you want that, we can give you that. I prefer that one, than the one that they gave. So apart from, yes, it's very important. If you pray, then you have the Holy Communion. Yes, sir. You have a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, regarding visas, if I'm using a Ghanaian passport
Yes.
or British passport, do we have to collect visas?
Right. Thank you. If you have British passports, obviously, there's no need to obtain visa. But if anyone is having any foreign passports, we will get the letter. So we can do it. We have plenty of time to process that. Take the letter to the embassy. No problem. You will get a visa.
So, does your company do it?
Yes, we will do it. We will do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we will take care of that. Yeah. So once we know how many that's got the foreign passports, we will get the letter across and then take it to the embassy for visa. But British passports, no visa. Yeah.
And is the cost for the visa separate? Or is it
Yeah, I think it's actually relatively not expensive. I don't know, maybe $15 or £10, something like that, but nothing serious. Yeah. So it's not that expensive. Yeah. And also, of course, when the time comes, I will probably come back or send you some information about what to wear, things like that, flat shoes and so on and so forth, just to prepare everyone. So we will do all that as well. Once we have the date, the month, then we'll be able to prepare the publicity material for the church so that it's easy for you to give it out to people that come. So we will do that, but we must have the date that you're proposing. As I've said, February, May, or October. Those are the best month to go. Yeah.
Still on the visa.
Yeah.
Do they have any specific requirements? Like, we have some people on indefinite leave, and there are some people on work permits.
I don't think that really, matters from experience. I don't think what the Israeli is that you have a letter from the tour company that you are going with, and then you have a return ticket back. So that's the most important. Yeah. So, but apart from that, they don't really, they know, you're going and you're coming back. So if there is any problem, it's the tour operator companies that will, because it's the letter from them that you are getting the visa. So that's it. Yes, ma'am.
After kidney patient, I do dialysis.
Right.
And I want to go.
Okay.
So how am I going to get through and get dialysis over here?
Well, it's a good question. I can find out. Obviously, Israeli hospitals are probably one of the best. I don't think that will be a problem, but I will find out for you. Once we know the time that you're going, that can be, arranged so that you don't miss your treatment or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. And I pray that you probably won't need it anymore once you visit. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Once you go for the visa, and they know that letter from the tour company that you can return, you're okay. You did said if you are a UK citizen, you definitely doesn't need a visa.
No, you don't.
What about other European citizens? If you have
it's
other
the same.
European passport, you don't need.
You don't. No.
Okay. My next one is, which you did mention February, May, and October.
Yeah.
Does the time of the season affect, these three ones that you've mentioned, does it bring the price down, or after one choose February, May, or October?
Not the price for the hotel or whatever, is the ticket price that is the season determines that, February is reasonable cheap, to fly. And May, also October seems to be low season, and also the weather-wise, yeah. So July, August, it's not fun in the desert there too. So I don't think we will enjoy that. So that's the reason why we pick those months.
And the price?
The price for this for 2022-23 is what I've quoted.
Yeah. And is that for 7 nights?
7 nights, yes.
And does it mean if an adult like me, if I'm paying, let's say, $799,
Correct.
a child of 5 years or 7 years will also pay $799?
Oh, if I think that would be different for anyone below 12.
So 12 and above.
Above is adults.
But
yeah.
below, what is how much is it free?
I will I will have to check, for you. Yeah. If we have that, let us know so that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Pastor.
Yeah, you said Easter was 5 days.
Very. But if that is the time that, people wants to go, that's no problem. Because that is one of the, remember, that's April, that's Passover period. Apart from the Christian festival, you also have the Jewish festival. So it's always very busy, especially in Jerusalem.
It's the week
before Easter,
or let's say,
or after.
or after.
Yeah, then that's fine. Then that's okay.
Because depending on the vacation of the students. There are
Okay,
times with a student vacation.
Right.
There are times after Easter they have another 1 week.
1 week, okay.
Or they have a week
Before.
the Easter.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, that's fine.
Or is it busy in
Oh, no. It's just, as I've said in my slide, just that Jewish holiday thing that is very, for the Jewish, that's, they have so many, even from abroad, coming to Israel at that particular time.
Do they have a specific date or is
Passover time, I can check the Passover time for this year. Oh, sorry, for next year, sorry. Yeah. If that is the date you're going, then we can always walk around it. If that is the months, rather, that you want to go, then all we need to do is just to establish when exactly is the Passover time, so that it doesn't clash.
does it always coincide with the Christian?
Yeah. Because you remember you rode a donkey during that period, and it was also that Passover time, so it's always together. So you have the Christian on one hand doing their thing, then you have the Jews on the other hand doing their thing. So, yes, sir.
The payment.
Right.
Can you do it in installments?
Absolutely. I think it depends on what the church wants to do. If you want to be making payment directly to the tour operator, that they will give you a unique reference number, so you'll be making payment directly to them. That's correct. Or if the church wants to handle that, whichever way. But yes, instrumental payment is possible. Yeah. So the church will decide which one, either you want to do it internally or you want to do it with to them. Yeah. Once that is established, then we will issue the reference number, unique reference number, so anyone that is paying, we know who is who that is making the payment.
Okay, so will the reference number be for the groups or individually, or have a reference number?
Individual. But obviously they're going under the umbrella of this church. Yeah. So it will be for the, yeah. Yes, sir.
Payment, credit card or debit card?
Oh, we don't have facilities for credit card or bank transfer, yes. Yeah, but no.
Not credit card?
No, they can only just transfer or pay cash into the account. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir.
The price that you quoted, you said excluding
A ticket, yeah.
and then you said on arrival,
Yeah.
a
A coach, yeah. Yeah.
So in that case, is it with the airlift, is it the church that's organized its own or individuals, or how? Because if you guys, that does not include, they used to still organize the airlifting for the church as a group, or the church has to do this on individual in their group.
Oh, no. What happened is, let's assume now that we have 20 people going from this church. So you're on an EasyJet flight, for instance, you arrive at Tel Aviv airport. So the coach will be there waiting. And the coach will pick everybody up straight. You're not doing anything, it's us doing it.
So how we get there is not your business. That was you.
Well, we will know that you are coming. Yeah, you will give us the flight details. Yeah. Now, the thing is, when it comes to flight, we can also do that. Yeah. But if individuals wants to do their own ticket, that's fine. But the danger there is this, that it will be easier if everybody arrives at the same time. So rather than having one in the morning, one in the, so that's why we normally coordinate it so that everybody arrives on the same flight if possible, arrive at the same time, they're picking everybody up from the airport straight to Galilee.
I was thinking that since you organize this, you guys include it's like one going on holiday.
Yeah.
And once you buy a holiday package.
Right, okay, I see. Yeah. So we absolutely, yeah, that's fine. So that, you see, we sometimes we give people choices of, some people say, oh, I want to get there myself, I want to buy my own ticket. So that's why we give that purpose. If we do it as a package, then we will get the ticket, we'll do everything. If that's what the church has decided, then you are not doing anything than just make the payment, just get yourself to the airport, and that's it. So the church will just advise us which one, you want to do. As I've said, if we have a larger group, the ticket even cheaper as well. They do it in group rather than each person, buying it. So, and it's also better for us to do it with LR or EasyJet, which is a direct flight from London to Tel Aviv, so that we are not stopping anywhere. So that's,
So with the payment, when is the deadline for the payment? Let's say we decided we're doing in April.
right.
What will be the deadline?
Okay, the good news on that is that let's assume that the church wants to collect the payment. You can even bring it to Israel when you are coming. Yeah, so there's no deadline really. But we must know which one. So if that is so that it gives people time, then the church will now set the day that, look, we are flying next week Sunday. Your payment has to be in church by Friday, so that we can collect it, so that you then bring it. That's all. But if not, then obviously that will be a cutoff time. But this is because we don't know yet, so we will set that when the time comes. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I pray that all the planning will go well, and we look forward to seeing you in Israel next year. Thank you.